Viewer discretion is advised.
If you feeling like a pimp, niggas call pimp.
Awesome song. Oh, are we ready to testify? Testify. Yay, we're going to preach today. Yes, this is Awesome Sauce Radio. Happy Wednesday. Hope you're all doing well. Thank you for spending some time with me, allowing me into your hearts, into your homes. I am your host, Blind Adam Wonders, the Comic Pimp. And before we get started, let's thank some of the sponsors. We are going to thank Big Apple Comic Con. The next Big Apple Comic Con is March 25th, 26th at the New Yorker Hotel. www.bigapplecomiccon.com. Tell them what I'm sent you. New Yorker Hotel. And it's just going to be amazing. Roy Thomas is one of the special guests. If you're a fan of Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Corey Means. Frylock's going to be there. I need to check out the full guest list. www.bigapplecomiccon.com. Also, I want to give a big shout out to Hive Comics, www.hivecomics.com. Check out their just released variant for 8 Billion Genies number 8. It looks dope. And I may actually be buying a couple of those. But more about that in a little bit. Also, I want to give a big shout out to Wonderworld Comics, www.wonderworldcomics.com. I think and we'll find out in a little bit if they still have copies of their Star Wars Celebration Obi-Wan action figure variant, but Dennis has always got good stuff. So wonderworldcomics.com. That's also, I want to give a big shout out to the amazing Las Vegas Comic Con. Amazing Las Vegas Comic Con is at the Las Vegas Convention Center April 28th, 29th, and 30th. I will be there. Not sure on what capacity yet, but it's Vegas. It's comics. There'll be a girl with big boobies on my arm and a Spider-Gwen costume. Maybe drinking a milkshake, Riverdale style. It'd be amazing. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bring in one of my partners in crimes. We know him. We love him. You buy comics from him on the street. He was just at Cosmic Con last week. Mark Pauling from Calamity Collectibles. What's up, brother?
What's up?
How's your night going?
Oh, it's going good. Just raining, snowing, and then it hailed for like 2 minutes. So that was fun.
Awesome. The voice of God, you have a question you wanted to ask?
Yeah, I do have a question. So I recently saw something, so I need to ask you a very personal question, and I need you to answer me very honestly.
Okay.
Have you had your period yet?
Mark, have you had your period yet? Because I know I didn't.
Well,
I'm only asking.
I don't think you can, man. I mean, you're in menopause because of your age.
Look at you, menopause.
Apparently, men get their periods. I know I've never had mine, and now I'm feeling a type of way.
It's a menstrual cycle.
I've seen man ponds, and I'm starting to feel really weird.
Okay. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna show the first video of the night. If the voice of God can play the Sex Robots trailer, I would highly appreciate this. This comes from one of my mentors and good friend, Will Ryder. It's Adam and Eve Productions. Let's check it out.
Idea, your digital algorithm neurocomputing assistant. Dana, Your digital algorithm mirror computing assistant.
It doesn't seem to want to process.
Gotta love YouTube.
Nah, alright. Just basically go check the trailer out if it doesn't want to play nice. That's fine.
Your digital algorithm. Your digital. Your digital. Your digital. Your digital algorithm mirror computing assistant.
Okay.
Adam, I'm so sorry. It seems that you broke the channel where you answered that question, and everybody's interested if you wear man pond.
So I don't have man titties and I don't have periods. What does this look like? I look like a Canadian hockey playing guy to you? I mean, I have 1 period, 2 periods. You know,
Period 4.
I know. I think Calamity, he's the one with the periods, man. With the maxi pads.
This thing does not want to cooperate. So
I
everybody
don't want to play this video. Everyone can go check it out on YouTube. It's called Sex Robots.
I don't have periods. I have exclamation points.
No, you got periods, yo. I seen you with the maxi pads. You know,
Hey, you're the one that told me to get them for you, man.
I understand they call it mani pads.
Mani pads? Interesting. You know, but so Mark, how's your week been going so far?
It's been going. It's been quiet because I was just so exhausted from Cosmic Con because it was like the first 3-day show I've ever done in my life.
So how was Cosmic Con?
Oh, it was great. I literally had. I'm gonna dispute that I had like the best spot at the show because I was like literally straight ahead when you walk in.
That was amazing. So, is it more comic book centric than say Big Apple?
Yeah.
So they only had like an artist guest list. There was like no people, fire eaters, or B-level actors or cosplay or anything like that.
They had some local voice actors, but like maybe 2 or 3 of them. It was more focused on the comic book aspect, which I'm glad we get more of that.
Yeah, I heard Joe Rubenstein was there.
No, he was. He was with Nerdy Girl.
Nice. Shout out to Nerdy Girl. Danielle, I thank you for saying that we could talk at 11 a.m. And then I go on your Whatnot and see that you have a Whatnot scheduled for 11 a.m. So if you're watching this at all, I'll give you a call at 10:30 instead. Everyone, go check out and follow her Whatnot/Nerdy Girl. She's awesome sauce. Testify. Yep. But that's just how it rolls. So you get anything new in stock?
I had some random stuff. I was supposed to get an Adventure Comics 11 coming in, which was the first furry beast, but it didn't come in the mail yet because USPS decides to delay everything.
Okay, why it's just you and me, and we don't have our guest yet, who should be coming in a few minutes.
That's what she said.
I have no clue what that just was.
I think you got Super Grover as your guest.
What?
Super Grover.
That's not Super Grover. That's Dodgy, man. She's awesome.
Notification from www.islocusthousing.
All right. Is one of the other guests here, Fauci? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
No, there's no guest here. So you got to keep on. You want to share any images? I'm sorry, folks.
I'm waiting for some of the other guests to get here. What's one of the other videos I got?
Oh, what? We're
Yeah.
gonna show the Catalina collection?
Oh, you got the Blake Blossom surprise. You got the Spider
I'm waiting
Pool.
for a very special for other people to get here.
You got Rick and Morty.
I know that stuff we're waiting for the guests.
You're
What's
getting
the other
moist.
stuff I'm waiting for guests to get here at the moment?
I heard you're getting moist.
Just watch the Catalina.
I heard that. I'm getting moist. Got a bunch of comedians around here.
Well, we all know you watched the Catalina collection.
What the fuck's the Catalina collection?
You've never heard of the Catalina collection?
Amazon, what's the Catalina collection?
So it's a YouTube channel that posts gay porn, but without the porn. So it's just all story.
You know what? Speaking of Rick and Morty, you better watch it, man. You keep on telling stuff like that, you're gonna get canceled Justin Roiland style, bro.
How do you feel about that? That they cancel him based only on allegations?
You know, I said this in a and I'll let Mark chime. Mark, you want to go first? Because I got some things to say while we're waiting for the guests to come.
I'm a guy that believes innocent until proven guilty.
Whatever happened to that in America? I mean, what happened to innocent until proven guilty?
Yeah, haven't they
This is
learned their lesson?
2023, or is it motherfucking 1984?
Actually, it feels like Salem, Massachusetts.
Salem, Massachusetts.
So do you think it was fair that he lost everything, a job and all, on allegations?
Hells no! You gotta be innocent to proven guilty. Everyone wants to cancel everyone.
Yeah, they haven't learned their lesson from Johnny Depp, where everybody went to attack him, got canceled for it, and it turns out Amber Heard was a fucking lying bitch.
And and now here's my next question. And I'll bring this up when the other guest here will ask it two time. But Warner Brothers, you keep Ezra Miller, who's guilty. You keep Amber Heard, but yet he hasn't even been convicted of nothing yet. You get rid of Justin Roiland. What the fuck is up with that? Is Ezra Miller a wizard? Does he have magical powers?
No, that's just he fits certain narratives that you cannot attack, so therefore he's safe.
Interesting. What say you, Mark?
I think with Ezra Miller, the only reason why he's really getting away with it, which I'm saying because fuck anybody that truly thinks he's non-binary, because he's just using it as a shield to protect himself. And I know people who are non-binary, and they agree with what I'm saying.
Interesting.
And no, I think he's the reverse Flash. He goes back in time and he fixes shit.
Very well with me, because he still has a job where there's not even a conviction yet, and Justin Roiland has lost everything, man. Rick and Morty, Solar Opposites. He resigned from his own game company. I mean, it doesn't look good, but come on, innocent to proven guilty. That's supposed to be the American way, motherfuckers. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna show the Blake Blossom surprise thing, because I forgot I got the still picture of it too. So we're gonna take a minute so I can calm down.
You want me to get a marker?
I want this side to go.
Oh my god.
God damn, Blake Blossom is sexy.
Mark, let me get your marker. Wow. This isn't like a 9, right?
No,
Okay.
I'm actually, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing. This is something I'm going to show you before you have that name. I have to
I'm sorry.
That's the beautiful, talented, and lovely Blake Blossom. Twitter /BLKBLSSM. Eatblake.com. She's awesome. She's amazing. And between now and the end of the year, I will be cooking her at one of the Exoticas pasta Alfredo. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to go to the Lighthouse Guild. They're going to teach me how to cook. I'm going to learn how to make this shit.
Facebook, James Lamb Cole going to be a few minutes late. Finishing dinner real quick.
All right, I just got a notification that one of my guests is going to be a few minutes late. But once again, before he gets here, just once again, I want to thank www.hivecomics.com for sponsoring tonight's episode. Please go and check out their newly dropped 8 Billion Genies number 8 variant, the schmoozy variant. I'll wait for the guest to get here before we actually show images and talk about it, but I hope he's enjoying his dinner. So you specking on anything new, man?
Just in all honesty, I'm actually speculating on Rick and Morty stuff.
Oh, you were saying that last night.
What else am I speculating on?
We can actually bring up a picture right now and come back to it later in the episode. But bring up the Rick and Morty Mexican variant I have, please. I want to get Mark's opinion on this while we're waiting for peeps.
Oh, I've seen that one.
Yeah, this is the Mexican foil. I really think this has got a nice dual collector possibility with it.
Who made the cover? Will Smith?
I don't think so. Why do you say that, yo?
Because it's I Am Legend. Was it I Am Legend or Last of Us? Because I can't tell.
It's Last of Us.
It looks like I Am Legend.
That's odd, but it's definitely The Last of Us.
Okay, it is Last of Us.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's the reason I've been really bellow on this book.
Yeah, I'm liking the show. I just saw the first episode.
Yeah, I'm up there. But watched both episodes. It's probably my favorite thing that's streaming right now.
Did you see the new Bad Batch?
I have not watched any Bad Batch yet.
I'm not liking this season. I feel like the influence of the dark side of the Kennedy has happened.
Possibly. I mean, I decided I wanted to wait until it all dropped and then I'll watch it all at once. It says, I'm watching Doom Patrol from season 1, Last of Us, That 70s Show, which I'm only 2 episodes into. And then I've been watching a lot of South Park and Batman the Animated Series.
Adam,
There's also porn to make and content to create. And, we got Big Apple Comic-Con and a few other things here and there.
I have a problem. I keep buying this book, and I haven't sold one, but people are selling them real cheap, and I don't know why I keep buying them.
What book?
Black Cat #1, J. Scott Campbell.
Yeah, what are you paying on those right now?
I have been buying them between $3 and $7.
What are they going for on the secondary market?
I'm asking $20 a piece because I have so many of them.
Like I said, it's J. Scott Campbell, so I guess people ordered high, maybe. I don't know.
And it's innuendo-ish cover.
Definitely.
Also, we need a second print for that Batman. For that Joker Man Who Stopped Laughing #4, because I want someone to do an exclusive where it's a movie poster homage of the movie Junior.
And the movie what?
Junior.
Okay.
No, it's the movie where Schwarzenegger becomes pregnant.
Oh, okay. That's why I didn't know it. It was one of the not good Schwarzenegger movies.
Hey, all the Schwarzenegger movies are good, even though that they're bad. So you put
Really
that
now.
cookie down, Adam.
Really now. You sure about that?
Oh, okay. Give me a really bad Schwarzenegger movie that was just downright bad.
Hang on, I gotta think. Do, 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 do. True Lies?
That wasn't that
Yeah?
And no one is here yet. No one. No one.
Okay, then you're trying to get my attention. Why?
Because look at you, Adam. Look at you talking about comics.
What's this?
It's the way you talk about comics, Adam.
Yeah, it turns you on? It gets you all moist?
Rightness.
It makes you want to make the ass butter. Oh, yeah, that's delicious.
It's like butter and popcorn.
That's
It's like butter,
delicious.
butter and popcorn in my ass.
Ass butter and cheese tits. Part of the nutritious breakfast recipe. Testify.
Are you speaking from experience, Adam?
No.
Are you splashing yet?
Interesting. So, all right. So you're specking on Rick and Morty stuff. You're buying the Black Cat #1 J. Scott Campbell's. What else you buying?
What else have I been buying? I've just been buying like new variants for like dirt cheap. I'm getting in a Harley Quinn 30-year anniversary art germ coming in because it was like $2, and I was like, oh shit, they're like 15 online. I'll take it.
Okay.
That's my mindset is if I could at least double my money, I'm a happy camper.
Nice. So you been back on the streets yet?
Nope, not till the weather gets consistently warm. I'm more like a 50 to 55 degree start because it gets cold out there, man.
And they got these really cool things. They're called like heated winter coats.
Hey, Calamity, a guest has a question. It says when you're selling books outside, and it's cold, do the books suffer from shrinkage or do you?
Answer that, sirs.
I play the fifth.
You played the fifth. This looks like a courtroom to you, boy.
Yes, it's the People's Court.
It's the idiot people's court.
No, it reminds me of that really shitty CW11 show, Street Court.
Never seen it.
You've never? It's literally like
I'll YouTube it.
It's literally Judge Judy where they're both standing out in the fucking parking lot.
You know,
This is the dumbest shit ever, and I love it. Speaking of dumb shit, I just found out that this dude that did commercials in like the East Coast back in like the mid 2000s is still doing it.
Nice.
If anybody remembers Uncle Magic,
Yeah, I remember Uncle Magic.
he's still doing it.
That's awesome sauce, yo.
Yo, this man, like, apparently he makes a real shit ton of money doing this stuff, and I'm like, God damn.
Nice.
Don't mess with the hip hop magician.
That is sweet. You know, but yeah, man, like I said, I've been having a pretty good week. I booked 2 big interviews for the end of February. One for February 8th, and the other for still working on a date. Now, as soon as I get everything locked and the I's dotted and the T's crossed, I will make announcements on who they are.
So you are interviewing Super Grover.
No, 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 not yet.
What about Cookie Monster?
Cookie Monster's a douchebag.
He has problems, Adam.
I want cookie. How dare you, Adam?
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
I mean, he got out of rehab, man. You gotta interview him.
Yeah, okay, I'll do that. It may be a different type of cookie he was having, but that's fine.
He made Cookie Book.
Cookie is cookie.
Is there any other Family Guy reference you want to make there, Marcus?
I'll think about it.
All right.
And the armor is not a dick.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, sticking with the Blake Blossom theme, we're going to play the Spidey pool clip.
Unless it glitches out.
Hello, Peter.
Who are you?
I am you.
Okay, yeah. I may not be sure of many things, but one thing I do know, I don't have double D jugs.
I didn't say I was Peter Parker. I'm just living your life.
I don't understand. Where am I?
Earth 65. Still Earth, just another reality of it.
You're kidding me. God, Doctor Strange is a quack.
Yeah. You should know better than to trust doctors. I mean, Morbius, Octopus, Doom. Get a grip, dude.
So I'm guessing I'm on Earth 1?
Earth 616.
Seriously?
Alan Moore actually wanted to call it Earth 666, but that didn't fly.
Yeah, I bet. So what's your story?
My story is your story. See, in my world, I was the one bitten by the radioactive spider, who became the wall-crawling mass vigilante. They call me Spider-Woman.
That's what they came up with? I mean, based off your costume, I would think of something like Ghost Spider or something.
Catchy.
Well, what about me? Is there a me here?
Well, there was.
Amazon, stop.
Yeah. Then again, everyone in school call you Pathetic Parker, so not much of a loss.
Ouch. Well, if the spider bit you, what was I?
You turned into the lizard.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, and wait for it. You did it to impress me. Kinda dumb, if you ask me.
Jesus. Did it at least work?
No. I had to put you down.
Okay, that was just mean.
Well, what was I supposed to do? Be seen around with my reptilian boyfriend?
Wait, does that mean that...
In your dreams, at least in this reality. In yours, different story.
So in my world, did we know each other?
Yes, Peter. And you killed me.
Gwen?
I've been waiting for you.
You have?
Damn right I have. We've got unfinished business.
We do? Holy melons, Batman.
You might want to take off that mat, bug boy.
Christopher!
I think we should stop there because there was some motion going on that I don't want to get in trouble.
Like I
They were
said,
just playing Twister.
what's that?
They were playing Twister.
Now, if everyone wants to see the full clip in its glory, go to wickedpictures.com. Like I said, Dear Hollywood, adult entertainment beat you to it. Blake Blossom is the first live-action Spider-Gwen. The whole film, Spidey Pool Triple X, once again, we beat you to that too. The first live-action, team up between Spider-Man and Deadpool. Wasn't in the mainstream. It was done as adult by the genius, the man, the legend, Axel Braun, the parody king. And it's a really good movie. I think eventually you'll be able to find it on YouTube without the sex in it. But if you want its amazing glory, you go to wickedpictures.com. Once again, I apologize for my guest being late. But I also want to thank once again WonderWorldComics.com as well as HiveComics.com for sponsoring tonight's episode. Hopefully they'll be here in a few minutes. And that would be amazing. So what's your next convention, man?
I will be doing Queen's Comic Party on Sunday.
That is interesting.
No, it's a fun show. I do it every month.
Yeah, and that's all right.
It's all right. I mean, in my personal opinion, it was better when they were doing it in a comic shop, not a veterans bar.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I understand why, but because you think because it's right off the 7 and there's a lot of foot traffic, they think, oh, we're gonna get a lot of people. It's been kind of dead.
Interesting. Also, I'm still waiting for an answer back from the promoter, but the next Clifton Comic Expo in Clifton, New Jersey is on February 12th. And possibility you and I might team up for that. Wait, I might hear back from the promoter.
Yes, I can't wait to sell comics and then get drunk on the Super Bowl because I hope the team I'm rooting for reaches there and wins it.
What's your picks for the Super Bowl?
I was hoping for an Eagles-Bills Super Bowl, but right now I'm rooting for the Eagles. Yes, I'm in New York and I'm rooting for the Eagles.
Is that even legal?
It's legal if you're a Steelers fan.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I have no skin in the game. My team is a bunch of losers.
Hey, your team did better than we did.
Fucking Raiders.
Oh, I thought you were thinking the Giants.
No. Fucking Raiders.
Yeah.
Better luck next year, man.
That's usually the case.
You know what?
Oh, another book I'm going to buy a shit ton of because I think they're going to go up down the line. Gargoyles #1, 1 in 50s.
Nice. Which one is that? Because there's only like 100 variants to Gargoyles #1.
It's the one that homages the original Marvel #1.
Oh, okay. The one that has that facsimile look to it?
Yeah. I think Jim Palmiotti worked on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Sweet.
I think they reused that exact same cover, and I think they just added the Dynamite logo on it.
That is very interesting.
Because it says Palmiotti 94.
Yeah, that's right. Palmiotti, I think, worked on the cover. So that would have been very early in his career.
Yeah, I didn't know he worked on those Wildstorm Halloween books.
Yep.
Because I got one in a collection 2 weeks ago that also had Playboy magazine I had to turn down and Japanese porno mag.
Oh wow! I mean, you actually didn't buy them and turn around and resell them to me for once? Damn.
Well, the mag was used.
All right, never mind. We don't want those.
And do you really want to read?
No, we ain't taking any chances, man.
That's
how like the plague gets started. Then you're fighting clickers.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, so what conventions are you looking forward to during the season?
I really want to do Fan Expo Philly and New York Comic Con.
All right, when is Fan Expo Philly this year?
I think it's in June. I think it's like the first or second week of June.
That's cool. So they announced any guests yet?
I think they announced Sam Raimi, but don't quote me.
Really?
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna check right now. I know they announced Sam Raimi for MegaCon.
Awesome sauce. Just come in. Wait, what was the announcement? I'm sorry about that.
Because I know Sam Raimi just got announced for MegaCon.
Ooh, nice. It's Fan Expo, so they normally just rinse. They have the Exotica business model where they just rinse and repeat with their guests.
Yep, they got Sam Raimi, Joseph Quinn from Stranger Things, and Sean Astin.
Oh, nice. They got Joseph Quinn?
Yeah. So you can be that weird guy and gets their Master of Puppets record signed.
That's exactly what I was going to do. I was going to get myself an original print, first printing of Master of Puppets and get that signed by him.
For comic guests, it's actually pretty stacked. Mark Silvestri, Greg Capullo, Donnie Cates, Ryan Stegman, Cale New, Frank Cho, Frank Thierry, Dan Parent, Amy Chu, and Michael Golden.
Hey, that's pretty stacked, and that's just for Philly?
Yeah. I'm hoping to God... I was going to say, I'm hoping to God Peach Momoko comes there. So, Adam, any cool pickups that you picked up recently?
Picked up a Daredevil 241. Hey, Dennis, come in anytime now.
Adam got also some wet panties on the side on eBay that he's wearing.
Yeah, I did.
What, was it Mickey Mouse's?
It's not Mickey Mouse. Be quiet with the Mickey Mouse.
Did you buy the Blake Blossom bottoms?
Yeah, Blake meaning a dude's name. The male Blake Blossom.
You know what, man? When I'm cooking our pasta Alfredo, and we're sitting down, we're eating dinner, and then she pegs me at the end. We'll see who's laughing then.
It'd still be me.
No, I don't think so, man. There'll be BJ's and ice cream cakes, and it's gonna be epic.
Oh, speaking of books that you technically picked up, I'm gonna show them again because I showed them yesterday.
Yeah, yep. I was gonna come and get buy them.
So Adam got a hell of a deal for me for these. So I got him the Pharaoh's Lounge Wednesday covers. Then we got regular and titties.
Comic book titties. Yeah. Specking on titties. Yeah.
You know, I was trying to get the medals for him, but
what size are those tits?
Yeah, that's a good question. What size? What are the measurements on those titties?
Do I look like a tit expert, Adam? That's more your.
No, but come on, you've looked at enough titties that you should be able to tell.
They look like a good double D to me.
Yeah, it's definitely double D's nuts.
That's the best you could come up with?
Yeah, I'm tired. What do you want from me?
That's true. Everyone, I do apologize for the lateness of my guests. They claim they're coming on now. Once again, I want to thank Wonderworld Comics, www.wonderworldcomics.com for sponsoring part of this episode. I also want to thank www.Hive Comics for sponsoring part of this episode. Go check out
say it
Hive's
right,
store.
Adam. You gotta say it right. It's Hive Comics.
What's that?
It's Hive Comics.
Who invited Mr. Hanky?
And okay, so do we have a guest come in, or we don't have?
Howdy ho, everybody. There's still no guess.
No, actually, for the voice of God, that was pretty good. Can you do tally? Yeah, cow.
Absolutely, everybody. You want to get high?
Want to get high?
That sounds like crack mortality.
Oh, man, you're getting me so stressed out. I think I got to roll one up.
That's pretty fucking good. That is really good.
Neat.
Like I said, we can always.
What is the first appearance of Mr. Towley in comics?
You know what? I don't think there is one. I think he
there's
may have
not.
appeared in the Wizard magazine, or maybe in a TV Guide or somewhere. But South Park has never had any official comic books.
Do you think it's time?
You know what? I don't think South Park the comic book would work. I know. What do you, Mark? You're just as big as a South Park fan as I am. What do you think?
I don't know. If they made a Brickleberry comic, anything's possible now.
They really made a Brickleberry?
Yeah, they did it to the sequel of the canceled series finale, where apparently Steve goes back in time to stop the cow invasion, and apparently because he's really stupid still, so apparently Woody and everybody else followed him back to like early I guess in the 80s, and apparently Woody fucks his mom while he was drunk, and it turns out he's his own dad.
Okay.
Oh no, it's all crazy, and apparently the cow invasion was stopped by the Squabbits.
Okay.
And then they decanonized it in Paradise PD, where Connie just says none of it's canon, Steve.
Interesting.
Which, by the way, bring back Brickleberry, damn it!
Nah, we don't need that.
We need Brickleberry. That shit was hilarious.
Don't eat your dingleberries, children. Don't listen to Blind Adam. He said brickleberry, not dingleberries.
What do you expect? Another Blind Adam verbal flub. I mean, at least it wasn't as bad as last night's. But
oh God, yeah.
Go watch Awesome Sauce Radio 108, and you can watch that one for yourselves.
Yeah, that's worse than the Mickey Mouse blunder.
Don't start with me. Don't you dare start with me.
I'm not. I'm just stating something, man.
Yeah, I agree. It was bad. I fucked up. You know, but I want to show you another foreign book, Mark. We're waiting for our guests.
I have foreign books. Well, I have one.
Wait, you know what? In second thought, let's play the Enter the Spider-Verse 2 trailer.
Wait, are we allowed to? Because I do not want this stream taken down by Disney or whatever.
I think we'll be all right. If not, this will be.
I will only play a little bit of it. Watch.
Yep.
It's a long story.
Well, it looks like it's the end of Awesome Sauce Radio. Goodbye, everybody.
No, we'll be fine.
And we have your guest here. Want me to bring him in?
Yeah, let's do it.
Go ahead, announce him.
I'm gonna let the guy. This is probably either Hive Comics or Dennis the Wonderworld, one of the two.
It's Dennis.
Hey, this is the man, the myth, the legend, Dennis Barger Jr. of Wonderworld Comics. What's up, brother?
What's up?
How you doing, sir?
I'm sorry, dude. We have a whole blizzard here in Michigan that we've been like going one way or the other all day today.
And we got Hive here too. Want me to bring him in too?
Yeah, let's bring in Hive
Everybody.
Comics.
Let's bring in everybody. It's an orgy of comics, folks.
Yep.
Comics orgy. That's my favorite kind.
Hey,
how
man.
you doing, James?
Bring the condoms,
Hey, how you
everybody.
doing?
I brought the grapes.
And the man pads.
All right. If I hear man pads one more time on this episode, so help me God, I'm gonna go to the good voice of God's house, and then I'm gonna go to Mark's, and we're just gonna be ass whoopings aplenty, and then we'll go to Sapphire's for steaks and movies.
I'll tell you, my partner and I, when we first started out, we used to go across Canada, and there was a strip club in, I think, either London or Kitchener, Ontario. They had the greatest French bread pizza you've ever had in your life. It was called Beef Barons, was the name of the strip club. And it was Bob and I we'll see French bread pizza. Like, it can't be as good as Beef Barons. Nope.
That's awesome. So, I guess we'll start with James. What's new in the world of Hive Comics?
I don't know. Just releases. We're getting back. Dennis knows how this stuff goes. November, December, January, always kind of tight on releases. Just people, people are spending money buying Christmas presents and paying off credit card debt from buying Christmas presents. So, we just
Didn't you have a drop today?
What's that?
Did you guys have a drop today?
We did. Yeah, we had we had a Ben Templesmith 8 billion genies drop an hour ago, 2 hours ago.
Yep. Nicely played.
Yeah. It's a good one. And then we've got Giant Killer Jack on Friday with Ant.
Is that the one that Bird City's dropping?
Yeah.
The Mike Punch Out homage?
Yep.
That looks dope. I actually texted the text line for the first time ever today. So what's new? So Dennis, what's new in the world of Wonderworld Comics?
Well, other than we closed early today because of the massive blizzard, but other than that, I am. I don't know if did I announce this before, or I don't know if I've announced this. So I'm breaking my mold. So I get bored easy. I'll give you a quick rundown. Like in 1991, I was hawking comic or toys at flea markets because I figured out I could sell all my toys and my friends' toys. So vintage Star Wars, G.I. Joe, etc. Then I was a toy scalper for a while. Got on the front page of the Wall Street Journal and did, I don't know, like 10 different major TV interviews. And then I said, then I was a booking agent for celebrities for a while, and that got boring after about 4 years. Then I opened the comic book store, and I've literally been in the comic book store for 18 years in March.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Thank you. But I get bored, and I can't believe that's the longest job I've ever held. And so I kind of want to, I always like to mix it up. You know me. So I'm opening up, and I guess this will be the official announcement, I guess. So this will be cool. This is your breaking news right now.
Breaking news, folks.
Yeah. I am opening a record store, anime and manga, video games, and movie store. It's called Disctopia. Music, manga, and media.
That's
We'll be opening that sometime in March. I've never sold records as a profession. I've never really sold video games. I've always dabbled in them. Never, sold anime and manga on any level. And, I proof of concept my new 1990s themed comic book store for the last 10 months. It has been amazing. It blew past every expectation anybody had for it. And I'm like, hey, I either have to take that model and put it on the road and test it for scale, which means I'm going to be driving 30 miles in one way or the other, or I have to see if that same model can work for a different genre.
That's awesome.
So it's really just experimental, but I'm having fun with it, man. I'm having fun for the first time in a long time. And I don't have to worry about Diamond kicking in a box of my shit and ruining it.
Yep.
Like all you other suckers.
And they also
Never
curb
happens.
stop
I don't know
it.
what you're talking about.
They would also curb stop it, go Office Space printer on scene on it.
I'd say, all right, this is a question for all three of you guys. What do you think of the comic book market in 2023 so far?
Well, I'm opening up a record store, Adam. You don't have to be a blind man to figure out where I'm going.
Oh, yeah, let's see. So we'll let James go first, and then we'll warm the audience up to Dennis.
That's usually a good way of doing things anyways.
And remember, this is the X-rated comic book podcast. So you can be as crazy as you want with your answer.
I think we're seeing a market shift in a way we haven't seen before, or we saw that, right? We saw pretty good times for about a solid year, and then this last year's been a little rough, but I think MegaCon's going to be, I think the first MegaCon and C2E2 will be a good indicator of the health of the market for comics right now. But I will say that the last couple of weeks, I've noticed a slight upturn back into maybe normalcy for an early January. So I don't know. I'm optimistic, but I'm still being guarded about it, and we'll see how I really think C2E2 and MegaCon, people at least have an idea of what they're getting back in taxes or what they owe. People should maybe have some semblance of disposable income to toss in the collectibles market at that point. And I think that'll kind of give us a good indicator. But right now, I think it's going to be better than last year, but it ain't going to be better than the year before that.
Well, Adam, can I just say something?
Yeah, I was just about to
guys like the Hive boys, guys like me, there's a handful of us. I mean, honestly, James, there's less than 50 if there's 20. There's 20 guys and gals, because Bird City and a lot of other people, I don't worry about them. They're going to improvise, adapt, and overcome. Okay? I never worry about those guys, top 50, top 20. I worry about, for the next year, the other, whether you want to call it 2000, 1950, if you call it 1500, 1450, whatever. I worry about all the rest of the guys who have literally blocked themselves into being a diamond catalog store, which is what Chuck Rosansky called it 5 years ago. If your entire livelihood exists around that diamond box showing up on a Tuesday, you have seriously got to be thinking about other avenues for this next coming year.
Yep.
I'll tell you, there's a really good warning sign, and not that I'm stream sniping or anything, but I was talking to Keep It Thorough, and he's talking tonight later about this video of Skybound looking for fan investors in the company. And I'm like, holy shit, you got Robert Kirkman money and you're looking for fan investors?
Oh, wow. I heard rumors to that effect. I didn't know that was actually going to launch.
No, it's been put out there.
IDW's fourth quarter earnings were a huge loss. You got Aftershock not paying 400 creators.
Let's not forget Frankie's Comics.
And Frankie's Comics would have been on that 20 list if you had asked me, a couple months ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got Frankie's Comics, and what was he in for? $250,000 or something?
Over $1 million.
Yeah, Mark.
Over $1 million.
You saw that report last. What did you say he was in for?
Over
Dude,
$1
I
million.
had Diamond crawling up my ass for $2,000 one time. Yeah, I'm like.
Yeah, I think with any business, whether it's collectibles, well, I would say especially when it's collectibles, but with any business, and Dennis has been in business a long, long time, and this is something he'll attest to up, down, left, and right. You cannot have a two-dimensional business. You have to have a three-dimensional business, because if you have a two-dimensional business and you're reliant on one thing, then that's all it takes to take you out of it. That's why you see the successful brick and mortar comic book stores sell a shitload of Pokemon, a shitload of Magic cards, a shitload of Funko Pops. It's possible to be just a comic book store and make good money, but you have to be, it makes you a lot more recession proof, as it were, when you can do more. Like the LCS I used to go to, one of the LCSs I used to go to back in Utah, when the rest of the comics community in general starts seeing a little bit of a strangle in December and January, these guys sold enough toys that December, they make as much money in December as they would for 3 months worth of revenue.
Oh,
Because then they were a destination store for people to come buy their kids toys for Christmas. And that made up for the lack of comic sales. So you got to find something to supplement, or you have to be quick to pivot, right? You have to be really quick to pivot. And I think like Dennis said, there's a lot of us that can do that and are capable of doing that. And then there's some that unfortunately aren't capable of, or are so set in their ways that they just refuse to. And it's sad, but last year was a strain on some comic book businesses. And I think this year could be a death sentence for quite a few of them if it doesn't turn around quick. And I don't think I think it's going to turn around. I don't think it's going to turn around quick.
Well, Adam, I don't know. You've been Facebook friends with me for a long time. Did you ever watch that video I made 5 years ago about the hippie record store?
I was actually trying to see if I could find it to play tonight, but I had no success.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I couldn't find it either when I went looking for it. So, but I actually did this long video, an hour, where I showed the life cycle of the hippie record store. And I'll tell you what, one of my favorite movies, and it's a documentary that if you haven't seen it, you have to watch this. It's All Things Must Pass, the story of Tower Records.
That's a great documentary.
It's a great documentary. And I watched it on a plane going to San Diego Comic-Con one year. And literally, I'm sitting there telling everybody about how we follow that exact cycle of that, except for we never had, everybody tried to create it. Hastings, Books A Million, they all tried to create that Virgin.
Hang on a second. Amazon, stop.
That Virgin Megastore.
Stop. Sorry.
The Virgin Megastore model for Radio Tower Records. They've had a lot of attempts to create that comic book store mentality in a huge scale.
Hey,
and they've all failed.
Didn't even GameStop make an attempt at it?
GameStop did a 500 store satellite, and Chris Powell allowed them like a very lenient terms that he would never give any comic book person, and they stuck them for something, a couple $1 million. Hive, do you remember the James?
No.
But GameStop ended up sticking them for $1 million. So, they've tried it. They literally attempted to sacrifice the LCS owners to get it. And on top of all that, they never could make it happen. But aside from that, we literally are following the record store model. And I said this 5 years ago, and you saw the video, that it's the comic book shop that turns themselves into the, when records started going down in sales because of CDs and because of these mega stores, a lot of these old hippie record stores started selling incense and tobacco pipes. And I even knew one that sold stripper boots and lingerie for the strip club up the road. Yeah, I knew you'd like that one, Adam. And
I am what I am.
They did everything they could to survive and still be the hippie record store kind of on the side. They sold used CDs and they sold used cassettes and they still sold vinyl. And then out of nowhere, and I'll bring this up in this week, there was one guy who rescued the hippie record store. And Hive, you probably know who this is, but audience, you shout it out or put it in the chats. Who do you know who the one guy who saved the hippie record store was?
I have no clue.
He was on a huge comic book last week.
Oh, Jack, what's his name?
Oh,
Jack White started putting his shit out on vinyl and saying you can only get this in a record store. And guess what? All of his fans started flocking to record stores. And that's why I'm not 100% black-pilled on comic shops dying, because there is the Jack Whites out there trying to do this. There is Eminem out there trying to do this. But unfortunately, we still have the same assholes running the goddamn industry.
Yeah.
Of course.
And they don't listen to me. They've never listened to me. I'm an asshole. I'm absolutely crazy, but I make more sense than all of them. And literally, we're following exactly what I said. There's going to come a time where some generation's Jack White is going to say, hey, guys, you should go to a comic book store. And literally, Jack White did it last week, and you guys did not capitalize on it.
I have an idea for a comic book shop, but I'm not going to talk about it on air. And Mark, you're under NDA because out of everyone,
you're proposing comic books.
What's that?
I'm Italian. I don't say anything.
Stripper poles and comic books by Blind Adam.
You goddamn right. But I really do have something that I'm cooking up in my head, and I'm in the very early stages of actually going forward with the plan.
Does it involve pimento cheese?
I swear, the next time you and I are a Big Apple, when I can reach you enough to smack you, I swear you and I are going to tumble.
I can't wait for that.
But now I'd like to ask, get your guys' opinion on a spec book. If the voice of God could please bring up the still picture of Blake Blossom holding the Spider-Gwen comic, I'd appreciate that. This is a Spider-Gwen #1 Jenny Frison variant by my good friend and mentor. Lauren Becker of Pop Fun Collectibles, or Comic Pop Collectibles, or whatever he's calling himself nowadays. So I want to you guys think with Spider-Verse 2 this is a good play?
Well, Adam, let me just tell you, you are a personality into your own. You have a following. You're a personality within this industry. That's one of the things that I've never understood, how the dead poo and the poo stuff. There's no personality. I don't know who makes those. I don't know who's in charge of those. But a whole series of shit with Blind Adam presents is at least a personality attached to it, and the art is phenomenal on those. So absolutely, I say go for it, man.
James, what say you?
Oh, you're muted.
All right, you're talking about your cover?
Yep.
Or the Blake Blossom one?
Well, it's the one that Dennis was just talking about.
Yeah. Well, which one? It keeps getting both of them. Are you're talking about your book, Adam?
Yep.
When you sent me the other day? I
Yeah,
think it's
that's what I
great.
sent you the other day. I got ahead of myself for a second. I apologize. First, what do you think of the Jenny Frison cover?
Well, and James, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've only seen one book kind of sell off the personality, and that was that Reggie's Guide to Comic Books.
Yeah, Reggie's Guide, yeah.
Yeah, I think the girl that did the comic shop that did the Ironheart variant, that's kind of in that ballpark. But there is very little personality in comic books these days, especially not in the variant game.
Yep.
So
I can ask the voice of God to now bring up the Spider-Gwen that I had Jeff do for me.
Yeah.
That one. Yeah, I think that's amazing.
Yeah, it's got a lot of heat. It's got a lot of fire. You actually did the after McFarlane, so Todd won't give you shit. Actually,
the weird thing is I posted that and tagged Todd on Instagram. He actually liked it.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Awesome
Which
sauce.
I didn't know that I would be that I should be scared
Oh, there you go.
about
Put that
or
back
I
up. Actually, put that back up, Blind Adam.
Yep.
I don't see awesome sauce anywhere on there. That's your catchphrase, baby.
You know what? I'll be rectifying that on a little bit better rendition because I have to get the face fixed.
Yeah, put it in a bubble below her feet. It's awesome sauce or something like that.
Will do. Good. You mean those Rob Liefeld looking feet?
Yeah.
But I also want to get if you're just the James, the messenger. And I want to get Dennis's opinion on this. This is done by my friend Matthew Arnold. Show him the Blind Adam, the man with tiny balls.
There we go. That's got a real Dave Parent look to it as well. I take it Sunny is a porn star of some sort.
Yeah, Sunny Lane. She was a top earner at the Buddy Ranch. She was in the Batgirl porn parody. But she's a Hall of Famer. She's awesome.
There you go. So I mean, you got to put the personality back into it, Adam, and you're really kind of floating on there, and I think you're onto something.
Yeah, I think so too. I think enough people follow what you do that would be into that, and I think it's something that you could roll with that for a while. I think too. You could keep doing those.
James, tell me if I'm wrong. Quarterly?
Yeah, quarterly or convention based. I mean, which is almost quarterly, right? If you do all the big ones, if you do like MegaCon San Diego and New York.
Yep. Yeah,
and
don't bite off too much.
Special.
Don't bite off too much. Do it quarterly.
Yeah.
Do it quarterly, specific for a convention you're going to. Hell, do a comic book for the porn conventions.
That's exactly. I have something I'm working on behind the scenes.
Yeah, you work that crowd better than anybody that in our industry. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Even though I disappoint myself with that one, Adam.
All right. Even though there's certain people who won't sponsor the show because I'm not family friendly, and then what do? Since they want to sit there and point their fucking finger. Hey,
I know
Anthony
you're
Laura
talking
from Bird City Comics, I love you guys, but you sat there and told me that I should get 2 separate shows, and I'm not family friendly enough. And then you guys go to Dynamite, and you guys have a Vampirella variant or some vampire book variant where blood is dripping out of the tits, dripping down the navel, but I'm the bad guy. I still
lean into it, baby. Just say hello to the bad guy.
Hello to the bad guy. So, what do you guys think of the exclusive variant market, its future? Because it seems very milked and very overplayed at this point at certain points.
I think it's not the. So it's funny, right? So there's still money to be made in variants. It's not like it was 2 years ago when you saw a bunch of these guys come in, right? Like Jonathan and I, we rode on that wave too. Don't get it wrong. We started Hive barely a year before that. So we had just had enough time to kind of be established, and then, and then we got to ride that wave. But there's a lot of people that came in due to whatnot, due to things like that, and I know quite a few of them personally that they're not doing well right now. And I think they're starting to realize that when it's not hugely successful, it's a lot of work for very little gain. And you actually have to love doing it, and if you don't, it's just not for you. And if you do it the wrong way, you can bankrupt yourself real quick.
Oh, yeah.
It's not cheap.
Frankies.
It's not a cheap thing to do. And you put a lot of faith into some paper and staples sometimes, and if it's misguided, then you're in trouble. We've been lucky with Hive though, because me and Jonathan are kind of a sounding board off of each other, to where if one of us doesn't like an idea or isn't 100% in on it, we just don't do it. And so because of that, we've kept ourselves from making some mistakes. Now we've talked ourselves out of some pretty decent books too. We've talked ourselves out of some wins that, but it was stuff that we never would have seen coming. Nobody saw it coming. That's why they were wins, But I mean, I think we've kept ourselves out of more trouble than most. But a lot of people just they run through the industry like purely off of emotion and failed spec feels, and it doesn't work out when people aren't buying everything they can get their hands on, which they're not anymore. It becomes a dangerous game when you're doing stuff like that. So I think variants are still healthy. I think the market's still there, but I think it's going to get thinned out retailer side. I think it's going to get thinned out because people just can't survive. They can't do it the way they've been doing it and still be successful.
I'll tell you from my perspective, it's similar to that, James, but I do think that the variant marketeers, let's break them down. The variant marketeers need to be more like game wardens, and the publishers definitely need to be more like environmentalists when it comes to variants. When you see a publisher have 20 different variants that 19
dynamite
retailers did not know that there were 19 other, or 20 retailers didn't know there were 19 others doing it, and then all of a sudden it's a mad dash to the bottom to try to sell them all at the same time.
Yep.
I think that's on the publisher and then on the marketeers, the retailers.
I would like to see if it was more curated, and I think that's what you're saying, Dennis. If it was more curated from the publisher standpoint, it would be great, because then the retailers that are willing to put forth the funds and the effort to bring only the best people to a book, those would be the ones rising to the top. The ones that are actually in it and willing to put that into it. But the problem is you can do that, but when there's 50 other variants for a book, like we did one of the most iconic Last Ronin covers of that first run. It was our cover in Bartling.
Was that the number one?
That's Staniak.
The ghost one, right?
Well, 1 through 5. But we won't touch the second run.
The one with the spirits behind them.
Yeah, that was Bartling's. Yeah.
Yeah.
We wouldn't even touch the second run. We might try and do the last issue. But the problem is we know everybody already knows it's going to get hit with delays. And we already know that there's 30 retailers that did variants for it. That's risky when you're talking delays plus that. Like that's scary. And the minimum print runs got raised. I mean, come on.
Well, and part of that variant calculation, Adam, on a big book or on, almost any indie or big publisher, is the fact that you're going to get the incentive variants along with your variant. So, you get 500 of a book, you're going to get, 5 of the 1 in 100s, and you're going to get 10 of the 1 in 50s, and, and so on and so forth. So even if you don't make your nut off of selling out of all 500, hopefully you do, you're going to have, some quality variants to be able to sell at 100, 50, 25. But when there's 20 other people or 30 other people or 50 other people, and they've all got that, how many of those variants are in circulation, and how many of those guys are just dumping to make their nut for the next diamond order?
Yep.
So the game changes on variables that the retailers who are playing in the game don't have any control over.
Interesting. What advice would you give to someone doing their first exclusive?
Take it, James. Okay. No, I already gave my advice. Yep. Do one you love doing. You're putting your name out there. Jesse James, my brother from another mother at Jesse James Comics.
Great shop out in Arizona.
Yep. Shout out to Jesse. Jesse gave one of the best speeches at a retailer summit. He was like, when you put your name on a variant, that is your name. Don't put it on anything you wouldn't be proud to have your name on. Now, of course, his is Jesse James, so it's his name is literally his name on the comic.
Yeah.
Mine's Wonderworld, but I protect that Wonderworld brand as if it were gold. Okay, and I pride myself on the fact that I've never dumped a variant. I've eaten more variants than I care to count. Trust me, I have the pallets in my warehouse to prove it.
And if you go to wonderworldcomics.com, you can still see a nice library of his variants from the last couple of years, too.
Yep. And some of them have sold out, and some of them haven't. And I have as many as I can online. I keep a little stockpile to make sure, like when I do my John Tyler Christopher Star Warses, that I could still make a set of each one with that. And I still have a couple more planned with JTC down the road. But what I'm getting at is you're putting your brand out there. Do something you're proud to put your name on. Do something that if it doesn't sell, you're happy to give them away to all your friends. And then if it makes money, roll it into another one and do one that you're proud to put your name on and proud to make, and you can't go wrong with it.
Yeah. No, and that's great advice. I think do your research and don't jump into the next hot book because it's the next hot book. Make sure it's a book, like Dennis said, make sure it's a book that you enjoy. Get a PDF. These publishers will send you a PDF. Read the PDF first. Make sure it's a book that you're in love with, and then find an artist that fits the project. Don't just shoehorn an artist into something. You got to find an artist that fits the project.
Nice.
And then let them have creative control. If you got visions in your head about what an artist can do on a cover, guess what? The artist is a professional at that. Send them the PDF and see what they come up with. And 9 times out of 10, it's way better than anything you ever would have thought of.
Yeah, Mark and I have an idea, but we're not going to divulge it yet because we're dotting all the I's and crossing the T's.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark, we're going to go with that idea. Those 2 ideas you talked about, brother.
Oh, with your Daredevil homage, but it's all foil.
What is the C2E2 2022?
Well, I wasn't mentioning that. God, man.
No, that's acetate.
Yeah.
Wait, Mark, what do you call it? What's that cute little name you got for it?
Acid my tank.
Yep. Nice. So, what do you guys think of The Last of Us?
I saw episode 1, and I'm loving it.
I haven't watched it yet. Guilty.
I didn't until yesterday.
Let me put it this way. I just found out Pedro Pascal's in it. So
Me too. I was like, oh my God, it's Pedro Pascal.
Oh, he's phenomenal in it too. Man, it's so good.
It's probably my favorite video game adaptation of all time.
It's not that hard.
The voice of God and bringing up the covers. Do you guys think that this is possibly the next Walking Dead and that these are good investments at the moment?
Play some Jeopardy music.
Well, I'll tell you right now. I was looking at the prices a couple days ago because I had to dig out some inventory, and I found out I had 10 third prints, and I saw what the prices were going for on those, and I'm like, okay, that's good enough for me to yank out of there and play with. Actually 2 and 3 and 4 are all doing good too.
I love when
But I think at the point at which the show is out and they're hitting $1,000 for is that about what they're at, James? $1,000 for a 9/8 first.
I honestly was going to ask. I haven't checked.
I think it's at around $1,000 for a 9/8 first print right now.
That's what I saw last night when I was floating around on eBay.
So I'll give you my black pill impression of that. If you think that Last of Us is going to be, and every time you do this, you have to take a drink, the next Walking Dead, then spend $1,000 on a 9/8 because you didn't do it before today, and sit on it because The Walking Dead did not explode until the end of season 2, period.
Yep.
There's nobody who can argue with me on that. The end of season 2 is when that really exploded. There was a lot of hype for it, and there was some good sales, but it did not explode until the end of season 2. So you have to tell me that Pedro Pascal is going to stick around for 3 seasons of The Last of Us TV show, and that they are going to knock the wheels off of everything and destroy it at the end of season 2 to make everybody demand season 3. And season 3 is going to come out right on schedule, and it's going to blow people out of the water just like Walking Dead. In that case, buy $1,000 9/8. It's probably going to be worth $3,000 or $4,000 in 3 years. But if you don't think that,
we're talking HBO Max,
right?
HBO
if you
Max
don't think that, then sell the shit out of it while you can, because $1,000 can drop to $500 overnight.
Yeah, real quick.
What's the name of that book that we were all what's the Boom book with the long name that's scattered across the title?
Oh, Something is Killing the Children.
Something is Killing the Children. I was getting $1,000 for 9/8 number ones when that was going to be a show. I don't know if it still is, but
it is. But
okay,
nobody's talking about it anymore.
But nobody's talking about it, and they're down to like $400 or $500 for a first print now.
Yeah.
Is there a reason no one's talking about that book no more when it was the spec darling of the
No.
People have 2022?
People in comics have a very short-term memory. I've made tens of thousands of dollars speculating before Hive on books. I would go back and look at top 10 lists a year previous. I'd be like, okay, what was the top 10? What were the merits behind it? Okay,
who's that guy that does that show?
Huh?
There's the guy who does that show who reviews 6 months ago's top 10 list.
And it's amazing. I mean, it's an amazing idea. Like, that's the way, because there is some of us that do that, and that's the way I always approached it. Was like, well, what was the merit behind this? Because a lot of times it's, this started production. Well, that's cool. A year is a solid timeline for production, finishing production, and putting something out. So a lot of times,
Remember 2 years ago, I think it was Peter Dinklage bought the rights to a tour.
Yep.
And I haven't heard anything about that. And he also bought the rights to Toxic Avenger. I think he was also involved with that. And that was huge.
Like in pre-production or something like that.
But the point is, I'm just saying there's huge spec that exploded and now is just nothing.
Like,
so you can't judge The Last of Us based on the huge explosion from 2 episodes. Are we on 3 episodes now?
Yeah, it's almost going to be 3.
Yeah, tomorrow will be 3.
I just don't think you can gauge, if, like I said, if you think that this thing is going to be bigger than that it's going to last a guaranteed 3 seasons, then buy one for $1,000 right now. It's a safe investment if you think so.
If it gets an early pickup for a second too, it'll see a bump. If HBO does something they have done before, it's not unheard of where they pick it up for 2 seasons because they like to film back to back sometimes.
I mean, here we go, guys. Let's talk about Sandman.
Yeah.
Sandman is 30 years, tried and true. It's a tough book to get in 9/8. Most people who own Sandman never let up on them. So there's very few in the circulation. Sandman had a killer first season and no announcement immediately of a second season. And that book might as well be fucking dead. And that's fucking Sandman. Sandman, if you give Sandman and Walking Dead kind of a level playing field, they're on par with each other as far as worldwide fan bases. Yet Sandman doesn't have a season 2 coming out, and Walking Dead is wrapping up 14 seasons. Sorry, what did you say, Adam?
I could have sworn that Sandman 2 was announced.
Was it? I mean, but the point was, I heard it wasn't announced so long that when it finally, I guess, did, I didn't hear it.
Yeah, it's recent.
I think David did on his Twitter, which
very recently they announced it. But like Dennis was saying, they waited such a long time. It wasn't an instant. Where we're in a time period where a lot of shows get they get renewed halfway through season or 3/4 of the way through season to keep people interested.
Oh, you know what? Can we be the first people to talk about Rick and Morty?
Yeah, we're gonna bring that up, and I'm gonna tie this into The Last of Us because there's a book I'm below on if I can steal someone's catchphrases.
Because I don't know what you think, but to me, if it ain't Justin Roiland, I don't give a fuck.
Same.
I think this is gonna bite Warner Brothers in the ass,
and
all the way around. That and Solar Opposites. It's just like, okay. Because I know, Mark, you said you're specking on Rick and Morty stuff.
Yeah, I think anything and everything Rick and Morty might just shoot up just because of what it is. I mean, I'm speculating on issue 37 just because of that X-Men homage. I had no idea this existed.
That's pretty smart. Yep.
What's your thoughts on the whole Rick and Morty thing, James?
Oh man, I mean, we'll see, right? I don't know. I'm still unpacking that whole thing, but I do think the books are cheap right now.
I mean, Rick and Morty is always going to be Rick and Morty, and
it might be something that circles back 10 years from now too.
That's the thing is when he has his day in court, which heaven forbid we allow anybody to fucking have these days. Let's cancel Johnny Depp and ruin. Let's cancel Johnny Depp and ruin 3 fucking franchises because a white trash clout chaser decided to try to ruin him.
The gold digging clout chasing little sluts.
Yeah,
she was just a crack guy who got lucky.
Right, and I remember back. Bill Burr has the greatest take on this. There's an epidemic of gold digging whores that have taken down so many men and then been proven completely wrong.
Exactly. And innocent to proven guilty.
But I'm not saying that
it worked.
But I'm not saying this isn't. But I'm just saying that, and yet Ezra Miller still has a fucking job.
I said that before you guys came on. Why is it?
I call him the Reverse Flash.
Yeah, the Reverse Flash, the greatest criminal of all time, is still Warner Brothers' golden boy. Amber Turd, who shits in the bed, she still has a job at Warner Brothers. But Justin Roiland fired. What the fuck?
What is it, Salem, Massachusetts? But for I guess reasonable people.
It is. It absolutely is.
Oh. So I wanted to get Dennis and James's view on Whatnot. And where do you see Whatnot going in 2023?
I went first the last time, James. You got this
one. Just like the rest of the comic market, I'm optimistic on Whatnot in 2023 because I'm seeing some positive changes. Granted, some of the positive changes we're getting is stuff we probably should have had from day one, but hey, we're getting it now.
James, blink 3 times if Bolo is standing in your room with a gun. Okay.
Listen, it's a tool. Other tools are being sharpened as we speak. Any retailer worth their salt is looking at every and all avenues to move and sell product and books and increase their customer base. So I mean that is what it is. I don't think anybody's hanging solely on Whatnot, and if they are, then that's a bad play. Just like you wouldn't hang all of your product sales on eBay or all of your product sales on a website, right?
Yep.
Right.
So I mean, any good retailer is looking everywhere, and they're going to utilize what's best for them to move said product. I'll tell you though, we just bought a collection, not a huge one. It's like maybe 1,500
bucks. Amazon, stop.
We made this a drinking game on the show.
Yeah, maybe 1,500 books, but there's no place I could think of better to move them than Whatnot outside of like the bigger books. Like the bigger books are going to CGC, they'll get graded, and I'll decide what to do with them when they come back. But I could sit down with 2 of these long boxes and move them tonight if I wanted, and that's something that other platforms have yet to give us. But we all know that that's changing very soon. So once that does change and we can hop on eBay and I can move long boxes of books, then who knows where it's going. So I don't know. As of right now, eBay or Whatnot's got its place. So let's just, we'll see if it still has its place by the end of 23.
I do have a specific Whatnot question that maybe you or Dennis can answer. Am I allowed to sell things like Cherry Comics and Penthouse Comics and like old school Playboys, or am I not?
I believe they say after 10 o'clock, James. Is that the new time?
I don't even fucking know anymore. They change the rules every week.
Yeah.
I know you can mark it as mature or adult only or something on your thing.
Oh, I can I?
Yeah, we do because I swear a lot. So I always mark ours that way. But
shit. I swear it during noon shows. So
yeah.
Oops.
So I mean, I think you do what you do, and here's the thing, Adam. If they don't like it, they're gonna ban you for a week and tell you that it's because of that, and you'd be like, oh, okay. but you'll probably get at least a few good shows in before then. So
I don't know. I know that the higher ups and whatnot have a betting pool to see if I'm going to do something stupid and get myself kicked off.
well, you got to make somebody a winner. So
No. So I guess if I brought my friend Michaela Cox on and put her in a Spider-Gwen costume,
yeah, do it.
and she gave me lap dances while we were selling books.
It's not too much different than what a few sellers are doing.
Oh, really now? Because you see, light bulbs are turning into my head. Because since I think their whatnot accessibility sucks, monkey balls. But no one wants to listen to my ideas on how to improve accessibility for the handicapped community who may want to come on and whatnot. I think I need to get their attention in a spectacular way. You know, just like Dennis did back at New York Comic Con when he couldn't get Wi-Fi.
Insert Fletch pointing at himself meme. First, let me just say one thing real quick.
Okay.
Alexa, play YMCA. No, damn it, it didn't work.
Nah, it didn't work. Nice try.
Okay.
I'll be right back. I got to tuck my boy in.
All right, cool.
No, so about Whatnot, I still love the concept of Whatnot. Luckily for me, just like James was saying earlier, I have enough formats that Whatnot was awesome. It was free money for me. It was a great little tool to use, and I had fun going to the conventions. But at the point at which I realized those guys didn't have my back and didn't give two shits about me, and used me for my contacts to get them in tight with a few other people, including Rob Liefeld, I basically said, you know what? Fuck you. I haven't used them since New York Comic Con, and I make plenty of money without them. And luckily, I have so many other places to sell and make money that I can put them on a back burner for a while, and I don't have to use their tool or use them as my tool.
I don't really sell on Whatnot anymore because if I'm putting, because most likely because people just want to buy stuff at $1 start, and if I do that, I'm literally gonna get pennies on the dollar from it, and I'm like, I'd rather buy on it because I just got a Thor God of Thunder 2 and 6 for $1 each, and I'm like, well, that shit's going on eBay.
Yeah,
and I just stick with eBay, and I just found out that shipping rates went up. Thanks, USPS.
Yep.
It's like $3.69 for medium mail, and I'm like, remember when it was $2.50? I remember.
Yep, I remember.
I remember.
Yeah, because I literally have these giant stacks of books that I'm just have on my eBay store right now because I'm like, they're selling fast.
Hey, that bottom one's getting bent there. Watch out.
I know. I gotta put these in a box tonight.
You gotta get you gotta like GHQ or something and get some long boxes, man.
Nah, I'd rather just buy from BCW and pay the ridiculous shipping.
Yeah, that's true. Dennis, let's just say, what other platforms for live selling work, besides Whatnot?
Well, I mean, I know there's a lot of people who have a lot of, let me first say, Whatnot is the only place that figured out there's no such thing as a deadbeat buyer. They figured out you don't have to do the shipping work. So with that being said, I know there's Instagram. I know there's Facebook. I know there's Mercari, I guess. I've never used them. I know there's a lot of places to sell. There's a lot of people buying on those other places. But as far as I kind of break it all down. The first market was always comic book conventions. They came before stores. Mm-hmm. The second market was the comic book store. The third market was really eBay and Amazon. So when Jesse James and I, we draw a distinction. He calls it the third market. I call it the fourth market. The fourth market of Instagram and, selling on the photo places, I think is kind of the fourth market, and Whatnot is the natural extension of that fourth market. And so As far as the fourth market goes, I hate to say it, I think Whatnot's the best. I'm not using them right now, but I'm not using Instagram either because I don't need to. I just sold a $4,000 comic book on Monday. I posted a picture to Instagram. Somebody shared it with a buddy. They called me up. They said, I want it. And I was like, okay. We haggled a little bit. He gave me $4,000. It's his. I didn't have to do that. And, when you have a destination spot, I'll post something on, and I have a whole bunch of people posting different stuff on Instagram. And you know what? Let me give a shout out because I don't even know these guys, but I've been following them on Facebook and Instagram for over 10 years. Zap Comics in New Jersey or New York.
They're my boys.
Those guys have their shit down.
Amazing shop.
They've got their shit wired tight. They are one of the best places I've ever seen online. I would tell anybody new, if you're trying to get this shit together, look at everything Zap does and try to do it exactly the same.
Oh, I'd agree. I agree 100%.
I love Bettencourt to death. I've known them for crap. They're going to be in business 30 years next.
Yeah. And like I said, I've never met the guys. I've never been to their store. I don't know the name of the owner. This is not me patronizing somebody just because they're a buddy of mine. I've legitimately been following them on social media for over 10 years, and I envy every single post they make.
Like I said, everyone check out Zap Comics. They are amazing.
That's the highest praise I can give a retailer.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen you talk so complimentary about someone before, Dennis.
Yeah. You have to press the fuck out of me to get my thing, something like that.
Yep. So do you guys think Spider-Verse 2 is going to bring some excitement into the community later on in the year?
I think it could. I think there's going to be some busted spec that'll piss some people off, but no, I mean, that movie was just, it did such a good job of bridging an age gap between what was currently going on in the MCU and that fan base's children, right?
Yep.
It was a movie that we could get, those of us that have kids that are like, we're 10 or below. That was a movie we could get them to sit down and watch, and some of the other MCU movies are great for kids, but great for kids that have a high vocabulary and a great attention span, which there isn't a lot of those out there. So, but that movie in and of itself, I think did more for the future of comics than any movie has that's been a Marvel movie in the last 20 years. Because kids that watch that movie are going to be big collectors in the next 5 to 10 years.
I would definitely agree from the standpoint of, I don't know necessarily if the MCU did as good a job explaining multiverses as Edge of the Spider-Verse did.
Because literally, Spider-Verse killed it compared to multiverse.
Yeah. Yep. Because when you put a pig in the same universe as the anime and the all the other universes, and all of a sudden it's like, no, this is all relevant, and these are just parallel universes, guys. Oh, okay, we buy this now.
Yeah.
All right. Once again, just for a little bit of spec play, if Al could please show the Renew Your Vows #1 Divided We Stand variant, I'd appreciate that, because I think this book is underappreciated.
Yeah, the Renew Your Vows, anything Renew Your Vows is underappreciated right now.
The Kiss cover, I asked this today in Comic Book Wars. I think why does this not get as much love as the Spider-Man 12?
It's not up yet.
All right, that's cool. I figured as much.
I think the voice of God took a nap.
Yeah, probably. That's done. I think my slideshow is done for the night. But
I'll jump in here. I think Renew Your Vows has one. What's the little girl's name?
Annie.
Annie. I think Annie is a bigger spec play and bigger opportunity than Jonathan Kent is, with literally the exact same motivation for each of those.
Oh,
I think everything with Renew Your Vows is better than what DC did with Lois and Clark or Superman and Lois, or whatever that series was that spun off with Jonathan Kent. I think it has everything and then some over that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's really when you're weighing these spec decisions and these spec plays, that's all you have to ask yourself. Are all of those books doing good? Yeah, they actually are. The Convergence 2 first appearance of Jonathan Kent, still a solid seller. The Jonathan, all those covers with Jonathan Kent putting the Superman suit on for the first time, it definitely appealed to a certain audience. Wasn't me. But everything that book did, Renew Your Vows does 10 times better. I would say the variants.
One of my favorite Spider-Man stories of the last 20 years.
And
it's a motion comic of it on YouTube as well.
I tried talking to Casada one time about how, because I had my kids right around the time that they were playing around with let's get rid of the Peter and Mary Jane. We don't want to have them go down the road of having a kid and being parents and all of this stuff. And I'm like, dude, that's half my customers, man. You got to know your audience. And I think that they went down the wrong road, and then luckily they pulled it out good enough to do it. But I think they lost a lot of that key audience that they could have capitalized on before One More Day.
Yeah, I still think One More Day was the worst decision Casada ever made.
Well, and then eventually leaving Marvel, I think, would be the worst decision. But because he literally could have stayed there until he was Stan Lee.
Yeah. So, what's your guys' convention plans for 2023 so far?
I think I'm going to MegaCon, Jonathan's going to C2E2, and then we get back together. We meet up for WickedCon in Boston. And then, I don't know. WickedCon. Wicked.
Can I just say that's the greatest name for a Boston convention
ever?
Isn't
it fantastic?
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Just lean the fuck into it. Just lean all the way into it.
Yep. But then we got we're sharing a table at San Diego, so we'll be at San Diego. And then of course we're gonna do New York, and I'm sure there'll be a couple of conventions in there in between. So still working on the rest of the schedule. Heroes Con, because it's right next door to me now, so it's an hour away. So of course we'll be there.
Wait, you moved to where'd you move to?
I'm in South Carolina now.
Oh wow, you love it?
Oh, I love it.
Okay, cool. Congrats.
What's on the Wonder World tour for this year?
I decided to open a record store, so I'm going to be doing that until March, and then there's a Wonderful World of Record Store Day, which is April 15th, and then there's Free Comic Book Day, which I will be doing my usual awesomeness there. So that gets me up to May. I'm going to try to put on a mini anime convention here in my mall sometime in June. And then if I have
maybe I'll fly out to Michigan.
All right. And then that's literally all I have planned. I have not even looked at a calendar for 2023 because aside from MegaCon and no, you know what? MegaCon was the only show I enjoyed last year.
MegaCon was my favorite. Was my best show and worst show at the same time last year.
Yeah,
because that's when I started having the health issues.
Oh,
so I was exhausted the entire MegaCon and did not know why until I got checked out a few weeks later.
Yeah. It is what, the thing is I've been in this 31 years. I've done conventions for 1994, whatever that is. What is that? 28 years?
Yep.
I've been going to conventions for 28 years. I only enjoy going to conventions that my kids want to go to so that I can kind of let them have fun and enjoy them experience a convention. I don't need to do conventions to make money, so I don't give a shit about going there to make money. So luckily for me, I only go to conventions where I'm just letting other people enjoy what I can do and navigate. So if my kids don't want to go to a convention, I won't go to a convention. If I'm not dating somebody who wants to go to a convention, I ain't going to a convention.
Nice. Let's see. The only thing that's I don't know what Mark. You don't have your calendar 100% figured out yet beyond Big Apple, right?
Kind of like 60%. I really want to do Fan Expo Philly because I'm friends with a convention manager there. Hi, Rich. So I'm really trying to push for that because I can't do Fan Expo Boston due to taking my dad to a Pantera concert.
So far, that's all I have. Of course, Mark and I will both be at the Big Apple in March.
Really pushing
and
for
I have Amazing Comic-Con in Las Vegas in the end of April. And I have Exotica in New Jersey in November. But outside of that...
I'm telling you, Adam, I take back everything I fucking said. I want to go. Do you go to the Chicago erotic convention?
I'm waiting for them to open up the press pass stuff, and if I get press pass, I can definitely get you in as a member of the Awesome Sauce Radio staff.
I will go to a porn convention with Adam once in my lifetime. That's on the bucket list, Adam.
All right, cool. Like I said, I'm waiting for them to.
You can be our seeing eye, our hooker seeing eye dog to the comic book world. Introduce us to your world.
I can do that.
Adam, if you do that, you got to bring the book I got for you.
All right.
I got
you see, you're talking about me about having sexual Mickey Mouse fantasies, and you're the one who got me rectum a rectum.
That is
I wish I could go and grab right now, but it's in a box where it's buried, and it would take me forever to grab it.
Hey, and you know what? In the chat, if anybody sees this, so I was walking through the mall, and they have Toledo TV on the TV thing, and they had a snippet for an interview or a segment on some kind of show about. It was about gay comics from the 80s. And remember they did the gay comics, adult comic book?
Yep.
It was kind of an underground, but I think it was a little bit more advanced than an underground. Somebody just did a documentary on that. And I saw
have to check that out because there is in that run, there's an appearance of the Max with Sam Keith.
Okay. Well, it wasn't about that, though. It was more about, and I would love to watch this documentary just to see how they tackle the documentary. So if anybody knows that, contact me through Instagram at DLBarger313. Let me know what the name of that documentary is if you know how I can watch it.
I will look into that because now I'm curious about that myself.
Yeah.
So Adam, you should also bring these with you.
What is he holding up?
The Wednesdays.
He's holding up the Wednesdays. One's the booby cover and one's the miniskirt cover.
Yep. Thank you for hooking me up with those, Mark.
You got a hell of a deal on them too.
Yeah. He also introduced me to my new niche collecting, which is Daryl Lounge. I swear, but James,
James ducked out for a second. He'll be back.
All right.
Ask me another question. I'm here.
There any ever, how do you see the action figure market going for 2023, Dennis?
Okay, so here's what I'll say. I actually just had this conversation yesterday. My buddy called me up and he bought one of the new Dungeons and Dragons figures. They're based on the old Advanced Dungeons and Dragons figures. And it was like $40 and they had it at some store. And another buddy was going through Canadian Toys R Us live streaming from Canadian Toys R Us because we're Americans and we're excited that there's still a Toys R Us in the world. And like the Star Wars Black Series figures were $50 in Canada and they're like $30 here now, $29.99.
Oh, wow.
And they've priced me. I have endless amounts of money to spend on shit I like. And I honestly think the toy industry is making some of the coolest shit they've ever made, but they've literally priced me out. And I don't think I'm buying hardly anything this year.
The only thing I know I'm buying for sure is the 50th anniversary Migos.
Yeah, no, and I love Marty Abrams, and I've bought those from a couple of my secondary retailer buddies.
Yeah, there's a certain retailer, one of your fellow Michigan retailers, who please return my damn email, or I'm going to reject my mayorship for the mayor of Clowntown.
James is back, by the way, Adam.
Yeah. Sorry.
Not a problem. Yes, James. I guess where can my audience find you online?
Hive-comics.com.
Yeah,
and if anybody can ever hunt down,
coming up at the end of the week.
Yeah, we got a lot this week. So we just dropped our 8 billion genies with our
what?
Jesus Christ! I didn't even see what that was.
The voice of God is back, and he is vengeful.
Like I said, I think that's the cue for. That's the reason I'm starting to wrap this up a little bit, because I think he's gonna kill me.
So I had that Giant Killer Jack comes out Friday with we teamed up with our friends over at Bird City Comics, that one, and then we have another 8 billion genies that might come out this weekend. So we'll see. We haven't even dropped the images of it yet. So
nice. Go on the Bird City Comics text line for that variant. It's gonna be fire.
Yeah.
Dennis, where can my audience find you, my friend?
Just hanging around, really. A couple dive bars. Hit me up. Get my Snapchat. Send me some nudes.
Okay.
But for the most part, Instagram DLBarger313, and my store, Wonder World Comics, in the Mall of Monroe, right across from Spencer's. I'm telling you guys, we're just, my documentarian just talked to me today. So we're going to do an entire series, probably about a 10 video series, 10 hours long, about the concept for this new store. Because I've jokingly said, let my burning bridges guide your path. And literally, guys, this is the way. This is the way out of the retailer ghetto that we're about to enter into, that I honestly think, and if I can do it, literally with the little effort I put into this, anyone can do it.
Hey, Dennis, I'm just going to get real complimentary for a minute. Thank you, because during tonight, you've inspired me to do something, and I finally, am this much closer to finalizing the decision I'm about to make.
Adam, and let me say this, and this is going to sound more of me complimenting myself than it really is to compliment you. You and I talk occasionally, and let me just say how much pride I have in the fact that you asked me about these things, and I feel like I've helped you in any way, shape, or form. Because I really have, it's really been a kind of a tackle for the last 5 years. I had my heart attack 5 years ago, and I gave up everything but these. And one of the things that I've kind of embraced over these last 5 years is kind of my guru role with guys like yourself and a lot of other people. And to me, the $4,000 comic book on Monday, the sales for selling the comic books in my little store, it means nothing compared to a guy like yourself telling me I helped inspire you to do something. And in the last 5 years, every one of those moments has been gold for me. It's been pure gold that you guys have told me that I've helped you in any way, shape, or form. And I appreciate that.
Like I said,
and he's not wrong, Dennis. Like we, guys like you and guys like Jesse, those are guys that, guys like Jonathan and I, like we look up to your experience and your guys' input on a lot of things. Cause you guys have seen, we've only seen short term. Now from a speculator side of somebody who's passively sold comics for 10 years, you know, I've seen it, but I've never been a retailer in it. And so a lot of the stuff that we're going through that some of you guys, you know, Jesse went through the same shit, went through the actual 90s stuff and things like that. Like taking from that knowledge when guys like that are like, well, this is different. Here's why it's different. It's knowledge coming from retailers that have the experience that you and guys like Jesse have that, you know, if you're a retailer out there and you're not listening to guys like you, then you're doomed to fail to begin with. You're too close-minded and you're not going to be able to, you know, you're not going to be expecting it and you're not going to be ready for it. So,
you know, I was actually talking to somebody years ago and they were like, Dennis, people would listen to you way more if you weren't so abrasive and you weren't so confrontational and you weren't so, you know, and I'm just like, I don't want them to listen to me. If they can't get through the forest and through across the moat to find out that a jackass like me is still standing and a jackass like Adam Freeman is still working for Bad Idea Comics, that was what this was about. Adam Freeman called me the laughing stock of the comic industry when he still owned a store and was married and had a child. And somebody was basically telling me I needed to be more like Adam Freeman. Well, he's working for Bad Idea selling snake oil, and I am trying to tell people a way to survive the entire comic apocalypse.
Yeah. Who's
laughing now, Adam?
Testify. Well, on that note, everyone, you can check out my boy at Calamity_Collectibles on Instagram and Calamity_Collectibles on eBay. I want to thank Dennis and James, www.wonderworldcomics.com, www.hive-comics.com. Please support them. I thank you guys for being my guests. I thank you guys for, you know, allowing me to be a member of this beautiful, wonderful family we call the comic book industry. Please go check out my, I'm going to kick it over to my sister and a brother show, Beyond Wednesdays, Beyond the Radar, whatever, you know, NFT crap that they're talking about at this time. Love you, Brian. Go check them out. Remember,
I'm guessing it's a pot smoking monkey. Hold on.
Yeah.
I've got a psychic premonition that Brian's going to be talking about a pot smoking monkey. Back at you, Adam.
But remember, you don't need to have a vision. It's not what happens to you, it's what you do about it. I love you all. Before the voice of God smites me down, blind out, I'm out. Love you guys.